Shit's getting real.
Welcome into Fantasy Unclean. I am your host, Rich Fiddler, joined as always by Scott Robley and Frodo Carvel. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
I'm not doing great, honestly.
He's angry at the stream deck.
I'm fucking angry at the Scream Deck right now because what we got going on over here is we got fucking, as soon as we went live, that camera stopped.
Oh, perfect.
So we're just gonna we're all three of us are here, but I'm just gonna bounce back and forth between the two camera angles because fuck it, I don't want to fucking fight with it anymore. Fuck you guys. We're already running late because of this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Welcome to Fat Cam, where I am on every shot.
every shot, nothing but Frodo all
in
day
all fairness,
long.
you're in all of the shots no matter what.
That's true. You are in the center.
That's because I am fantastic.
You are fantastic. Yeah, right. Also, that shirt blends perfectly in with the background. I mean, luckily we've got this black thing up here, but
I look less fat at this angle too. This is
yeah.
fantastic.
See, you asked me to begin with to go high on the cameras and go down.
Yeah, because I'm not an idiot.
And then, but now I started going down a little bit lower, and this is a better shot for you, man. This is much better. I like this one. We're good here.
Well,
So,
I positioned my stream cam for Twitch like up fucking. I took the Tinder girls angle.
yeah, right. Just straight up. Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
I like it. So what's going on, guys? What are you up to?
I'm back with you fellas.
That's true.
We are in our actual first week of football.
Yes,
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it is preseason still,
week 1.
but actual football, because
Great
the Hall of
football.
Fame game does not count.
No, that doesn't count at all. 'Cause
So yeah, so there's a bunch of
Somebody's
games.
pube on my beer.
Oh, nice, perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think we have a game. I don't know if there's a Thursday. I know there's a Friday.
Saturday
game.
there's a bunch.
Yeah, I think.
I know the
Is this
Dolphins are
preseason
playing
week
Bucks.
one?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And joint practices for a lot of teams are going this week.
Okay.
So there'll be lots of fights, which is always fun.
Yeah, there's a fight that was. Anyone see the Giants fight at camp and the retweet out of them
I
dragging
just
him out of the?
Caught something.
Oh,
on
it's
it.
fantastic.
I didn't actually see the fight though.
The guy that got drugged out of the scrum retweeted the picture. He's like, "This pic though," and just like a bunch of faces.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw one from the Giants earlier this week, where who's their younger wide receiver?
Kadarius Toney.
I don't think it was Tony. It was one of the other guys. But anyway, there's a fight around the quarterback, Daniel Jones, and fucking this wide receiver comes in and just launches himself over the top of the crowd.
Oh, that was the Bills.
That was the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the end of a little. That was like goal
That's right.
line at the end of practice.
Yeah.
And
Josh Allen got a fight.
Allen got chipped a little late and got up in the defensive lineman's face.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then I think it was all just a joke with that last jump.
Yeah.
But it was
Well,
funny.
Basically, it turned into a joke. But you gotta give the guy credit for dedication. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, he sent it. He just absolutely sent it.
Stay on the Giants. Daniel Jones is having a very interesting camp. He is hitting everyone, including disabled fans in the stands.
I heard that. I heard that. Okay, so
and the good news is that's the first team to play this week.
awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a couple of games on. There's 2 games on Thursday. There are 5 games on Friday. There's 6 games on Saturday, and 1 game on Sunday.
The Holy of Holies.
The Holy
so-
of Holies.
Yeah, it's
Like Ricky's mom. Ew.
Which the
So
first
sorry, Mary.
September 9/11 is the kickoff of NFL season for Sunday, all the Sunday games, and we're still going someplace and watching all the games, right?
yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, yeah.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
Because
find
I already
out
set
one.
that aside with Amanda. I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I am
yeah,
going to be unavailable for and probably drunk by 5:30. Not by 5. I'll be drunk by 1.
I'll be drunk by 1. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, like, I'm gonna
I
bring
might
up
be
pillows so I can
sobering
pass.
up
Right.
around 5:30.
I have a big bet riding. So Justin, who's fit goal in our dynasty, which
Okay.
we'll be talking about dynasty this week
It's good.
on this pod. He's a huge Patriots fan.
Okay.
And
Is this the guy you went to?
the Dolphins game.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we have a standing bet. The Dolphins, since they beat them last year first game, now they're playing in Miami this week. If the Dolphins beat the Patriots first game of the season again, he buys the next game's tickets.
So you're probably happy that the Patriots are basically in complete disarray right now. Then
Yeah, I heard Mac Jones is not having a good camp.
regressing from what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Okay, so let's put this out there real quick. Everybody has a good or a bad camp right now. Camp doesn't really matter in terms of anything other than injuries, in my opinion. Everybody looks like dog shit, or they look amazing, and it really doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but the issue is the whole team, like in general, looks
And
bad.
his running of the offense and the playbook, because it has changed some.
And you also have a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays now.
Oh.
Because they lost McDaniel. McDaniel went to the Raiders. They have a
So-
whole different
But they
offense.
didn't replay it?
Matt,
You didn't replace it?
Matt Patricia is
Oh,
the
because
OC
he was
now.
running.
Because that
okay.
worked really well at the Lions.
Yeah, fuck. Dude.
Fuck that pencil. Yeah, right in
Oh
there.
my god. Okay, so that's not great. That's not ideal.
Yeah.
So Patriots. So your bet's looking good right now.
Okay. I'm ecstatic. Yeah.
Right on. Okay. So what else we got going on? I got the boat up and running this weekend. That was really good. I went wakeboarding for the first time in literally 20 years, and I am so fucking sore. Like, I want to die this morning. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
I had lots of fun and painted a ceiling.
So you're equally as sore for much worse reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we going crabbing?
You fucking tell me, and I'll go, dude. Do we need?
So you need a shellfish license. It's $10.
Yeah, that part I'm fine with. I think I can actually qualify for that license with a felony.
Yeah, we're not around minors.
It was not. Okay, hold on. We need to talk about this real quick. It was not a minor. It did involve a minor.
it was actually with a minor.
No, it wasn't. I found out. I thought he was a minor. He was not. I got into a fight. Clarifying that real quick. He was not a minor.
With a child.
When was this?
Fucking 100 years ago in high school, or just out of high school. I got into a fight with a kid who was 19. And I thought he was 17 at the time because he was that immature. But the police report that I recently found shows that he was 19 at the time and still had his grandma call the police on me for getting his fucking clock cleaned. Anyway, shout out to, what was his name? Dan Fizback. Fuck you. All right, so... Anyway, so boating is awesome, and it hurts.
When I got my boat out there for the first time, after we got done, I was fucking exhausted just from...
Yeah.
And I wasn't even the one pulling the pots. Amanda was the one pulling the pots.
Pulling pots.
Not your type of pots.
Oh,
my type of
okay.
pots.
Yeah. How many pots can you guys put out of there?
3 per person.
3 per person. Okay.
So we could have 9 total pots if all 3 of us are on there. Out in the water.
Fuck yeah. Do your kids count?
Yeah. So
if you bring your whole family,
so when me and
we
Amanda
go out there in my boat and we just all follow you, and
it's per boat. So you could
So wait a minute, hold up, per boat?
Per boat.
So I can have. So if I technically jump over to your boat, I can have a whole other 3 pots.
No, it's whoever's in that boat. So so per person, you're around 3 crab pots or crab rings, either one.
Okay.
So
how many am I allowed to take home at the end of the day?
12 per person. 12 crabs per person is
Gotta
limit.
eat the fuck out of those, man.
12 crabs is a lot because we came back with 26 and it filled up that fucking ice chest.
Yeah,
of course, we got like most crab. The legal limit is 5 3/4 in Oregon. We got one that was bigger than the entire
Like
fucking.
has to be bigger or has to be smaller?
Has to be
Bigger. It has to be bigger than
5 3/4
Okay.
inches, and the measure is 7 inches inside the inside, and then it has
And this is just the top shell over the top of it.
yeah.
Okay.
And so the whole measure is like this big. We caught one that was bigger than the entire measure. Like it was 3 pounds probably.
Oh my god, dude. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's pretty relaxing because you're not having to. We're just in a little
I
bit.
fucking love crab, dude. It's not any reason to just scoop butter into my mouth like a fat fucking piece of shit. Like I fucking love it.
Same, fam.
Yeah, what's up, man? All right, so, football stuff. What do we got going on football-wise?
Got a couple of injury things. J.K. Dobbins was activated off the PUP list.
Oh, that's right.
That's good.
So
that's good.
That's a good sign for him to be ready for week 1. Gus Edwards, on
Not
the
so
other
much.
hand, most likely not going to be ready for week 1.
Gus Bus is still up on blocks.
Yeah. So Dobbins has said he's going to be ready for week 1. We'll see if it actually happens. This is a good sign, though, at least.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston tweaked his foot today in practice. Unknown as to the severity. But he's getting it looked at. So we'll see what happens with that.
I still have a
And
bunch of bags at home with it.
Deontay Johnson is working through a hip flexor.
Okay.
Not a good sign at the beginning of the season.
That's from all
Yeah,
the
but
money
it's not
you
a
just
terrible.
got.
Yeah, it's not a terrible injury to have. You know,
Yeah.
if he's got a high ankle sprain, then I'm worried. But
The Jets tackle, Mekhi Becton.
Knee.
Yeah, he
Oh, yeah,
limped
that's
off
what
the
you were
field
talking about,
today. Not good for the Jets. It's the same knee that he had injured last year.
cool.
So that's not good for really anybody on the Jets.
Anybody on the Jets?
So that's really it as
Well-
of right now for...
Mike Evans has his seasonal hamstring issue.
That's true. That is
And not that it matters anything because you're not drafting him. They kill Harry. High ankle sprain.
true. Might make it where he just
Immediately
doesn't...
traded to the Bears, or traded to the Bears, and then immediately.
Got hurt. Which I sent Justin also. I'm like, you just can't get away from this motherfucker. He went from the Patriots to the Bears and still injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may not even make the 53-man.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be interesting because this is a guy that had a lot of talent coming out of college, a
was
lot
a
of promise.
First
and then-
round draft pick.
Yep. And then has done nothing.
Yeah.
So
You don't want to be a wide receiver drafted in the first round by the Patriots.
Nope.
It pretty much kills your career.
Or a tight end in the first round because they just kill.
just kill. They just murder.
That's
Deshaun Watson, he
a
since our
pile of
last
shit.
since our last episode, he had settled a bunch. No, we had that one on the last podcast.
He settled 3 of his outstanding ones, right?
Yeah,
And
but we
then-
talked about that last time.
And then so then the NFL, he was convicted, or he was Judge Robinson passed down a judgment of 6 weeks. The NFL has then
6 games,
appealed.
yeah.
6 games, and then the NFL has since appealed, and rumors are that they want him suspended at minimum through week 12, which is when they go to Houston. And so that's what they're trying to avoid, is Deshaun Watson going back to, play football in front of all of his victims.
Yeah, I also saw something that before Judge Robinson put the ruling out, he had turned down a basically plea with the NFL that would have been, I think, 8 or 10 million in fines and suspended through week 12.
Okay.
So if he turned that down, it's going to be at least
That
through
or
week
more.
12 and at least that 8 or 10 million.
So I was really surprised to see the verdict come down at 6 weeks from the judge. So more or less her reasoning behind it, allegedly, is that past punishments for other players have not been that severe, and that this was a non-violent crime, and therefore does not.
Jerking off and firing your load into some girl's face is not violent.
Yeah. So it's not violent. I feel like you should probably ask the women if it was violent. And she more or less said in her statement, that in her judgment, that this is a repeatable offense, and he's going to repeat this. He's going to do this again. So she lets him off with 6 weeks based on the fact that other people have been less fined for no fines or anything like that, less
But
punished.
that's what I don't understand is if you've found him guilty of anything,
Yep.
and there's 24 cases against him in total, or was 24 cases against him
Now
in total,
just one.
that he settled on, so that he is not completely clean from.
Right.
Because if he was completely clean of it, he wouldn't have settled.
Right.
He would have let them go to trial.
Right.
Right.
To say, yeah, prove it that I did any of this.
Yeah.
So you know that he did something, and yet you still only give him 6 weeks, which makes absolutely no sense.
And this goes back to a lot of people are saying, well, he wasn't convicted of a crime and therefore he can't. And we're talking about the NFL is based on civil law, not criminal law, and that is that basically you can go in, look at all of the evidence, and say that the preponderance of evidence shows that this guy is guilty, versus criminal law, which says irrefutably you committed this crime.
Right.
And we're talking about trying to prove a crime that happened in a closed private session between two people, and therefore you're only going to have circumstantial evidence.
And technically, you're employed by a company. You have to adhere to their rules. If you violated something, you're at risk of punishment.
Right. I just it's gross to me that this guy only got 6 weeks. I'm a little bit upset that Goodell has handed off the appeal to a New Jersey retired judge, and I'm a little bit upset at that because, okay, he has the final say in terms of the appeal. He can either handle it himself or he can assign an outside party. Now, I know what he's trying to do. What he's saying is, well, we want this to be as impartial as possible. Well, if you wanted it to be as impartial as possible, you wouldn't have appealed the fucking process to begin with.
Correct.
So if you're going to go ahead and violate that, then you need to just go whole hog and say this guy's a fucking maniac and suspend him for a year, grow a dick, be a man, and
put him on the commissioner's exempt list.
This was such a cop-out to me. I was so pissed when I found out that he assigned it to somebody else.
And the fact that he still has not been put on the commissioner exempt list, which means that if all of this has fallout and they sue, he technically could play week 1 and week 2 and all of the other weeks until it's completely settled.
Right.
Unless he gets put on the commissioner exempt list. So why not just put him on the commissioner exempt list now?
The reason is because that women's rights and women's safety is not nearly as important as making sure that they've got a product to sell to America.
Correct.
And they've proved that. It's fucking gross, and I hate them for it. It is what it is. We're gonna move on from this. Rick, you got something about divisions over there, right?
I do. So I asked the guys here who they thought was winning each division. I didn't do a full ranking. I was just curious who they thought was going to win each division.
Yeah.
We were pretty even on a lot of them. We only differ on a few. Frodo has the Bengals winning for the AFC North. Both Scott and I have the Ravens.
Okay.
We all have the Colts winning. We vary a large amount on the AFC West, which is not at all surprising.
Yeah.
Frodo has the Broncos. Scott has KC, who I almost went with, but I switched and went with the Chargers instead. So that's the only one that we were all completely different on.
Right.
Obviously, Frodo took the Dolphins to win the AFC East. Both Scott and I took the Bills. We all have the Vikings winning.
Weird.
In the AFC or in the NFC North.
We all want to shit on fucking Aaron Rodgers, apparently.
It just seems like a more complete team at this point.
Yeah.
I know there's still Aaron Rodgers, and he still kind of owns that division.
But the receiving core is not exactly stellar.
I mean, we'll see how that goes. We all have Tampa Bay winning. It's not a surprise there.
Yeah.
Right.
We all actually have the 49ers winning, which I wasn't sure if you guys both were.
Interesting. Okay. That's actually a little bit of a sneaky pick there, considering that the Rams are the favorite.
Right.
I mean, that's Trey Lance.
I give it's the Trey Lance effect. There's no Garoppolo.
See, and I actually feel like this is in spite of Trey Lance. I'm going to put him in the number 1. No, I'm not shitting on Trey Lance. I like him. I think he's going to be awesome, and I hate that for the next couple of years. But this year, I don't expect a lot out of him. I don't expect the same in terms of overall quality as we got out of Garoppolo. But I think the team is just a great fucking team, top to bottom.
I think this defense is going to be a problem this year for teams.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
everything coming out of camp is very, very well spoken from basically every media outlet as far as the young corners that we have.
Right.
Obviously, our linebacker core is elite.
Yeah.
And our defensive line is elite as well.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we don't catch a major injury bug, which it's the 49ers, so at some point we will.
Yeah.
But
right. It's inevitable. You guys are fucking going down. There's no question about it.
But I mean, the team has a lot of talent on the defensive side, and I think that's going to cause a lot of issues for a lot of teams. So as long as our offense can somewhat keep up,
right,
it'll be fine. And then Scott has the Cowboys, which is gross, winning that division.
Very gross.
Oh.
And Frodo and I have the Eagles.
Yeah, it was Eagles or Cowboys, and I honestly think it's a coin flip. I figured you guys were going to go with the Eagles, so I went with the Cowboys.
That was the only difference in the NFC.
He just cannot get off of Zeke Elliott's dick.
I cannot, man. I just want it so bad. It's that crop top. I get really confused by the crop top, and I just get crazy. You know what I mean? I get a little wild with it. Speaking of Zeke, though, I put up a poll this week, and we talked about this last week. 16, 17, and 18 in redraft right now are Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Akers, and James Conner. Mm-hmm. And the question was posed, which one would you want over all of those? And we said rank those three, and we all had three different ranks.
Correct.
Yep.
So, and I'll tell you what the Twitter poll came up with afterwards, but basically give me your argument here. What do you got? So you had Rick, Zeke, Cam Akers, or James Conner. Who did you have?
Thanks, Mason.
I like totals.
I actually said that Zeke would be in that range. Zeke would be my top pick, and then Cam Akers, and then James Conner.
Yeah, he. Speaking of bouncing on his dick.
No, I
Rick
hate
is
Zeke.
all about
Zeke
these days.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm saying between those three.
Okay, so Zeke, Cam Akers,
and then James
Conner.
I think, if I remember right, mine was Akers, Zeke, and then Conner.
I think you actually had Akers, James Conner, and then
okay.
Zeke.
Yeah, I think it was Akers, Conner, Zeke. But
I've been from day one. I've never, ever, in history of ever, trusted Zeke.
Right.
I just don't like his. Outside of the year where he was on, I forgot whose team I was going against, and he destroyed me because he
probably mine. I seem to be the only guy that.
No,
ends up
it wasn't
with him.
yours. I want to say it was like Brock.
Okay.
But, I see Tony Pollard cutting a lot more in, and I want Akers, who has, I think, the same skill set, 3 down back. I think a better, higher powered offense. Connors he flashed last year, and I really put Connors over Zeke because I don't trust Zeke. It's just a trust thing. I just don't like him.
Yeah. See, and I had Conner up front. I had James Conner, then Zeke, and then Cam, and it became, for me, it was James Conner, the upside that he showed last year on the offense that is largely the same, to compared to the rest of the guys. When you look at Zeke Elliott, who at this point, his biggest selling point to me is they're going to run the fuck out of him because they're getting rid of him next year.
Yeah,
he's
not going to be a Cowboy.
He's not going to be a Cowboy next year, and so they have him this year. They have to pay him this year, so they're going to run the tread off on him. And as long as he can put that up, and I'm anticipating a pretty good effort from him this year. And then Cam. Now, the only reason I struggle with Cam Akers is you haven't seen a running back out of that offense last a whole season in how long? Fucking 7 years?
Yeah.
8 years?
My big thing on this
Early
one.
Todd Gurley.
My big thing on this one was I have said that I would not draft Zeke early on. But if he fell and I was looking at him in round 3,
right,
I would have a hard time passing him up.
Nobody is untouchable. It's just at the right price.
Right. And so that's why I was saying I would take Zeke in comparison to the other two. James Conner was heavily touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
Now, he could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Potentially. If they just hand the ball to him inside the 5, I mean,
He's got no competition.
That very well could happen.
Right. Kyler Murray's not doing goal line scrambles.
No.
You know what I mean? And
he may run on in occasionally, but he's not going to be like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, where he's a threat every time he gets inside
I expect
the 10.
that when Kyler Murray rushes for a touchdown, it's because a play broke down.
Yeah. And it's from like the 15 or the 20.
Yeah, right.
And Toddlers get tired.
And then with Cam Akers, I like Cam Akers.
Yeah.
I think he has a lot of
He's got
potential.
very sweet eyes.
The issue is we've never seen a running back be productive after blowing out an Achilles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, he was very young, and that helps when you're coming back from an injury.
And he made it back before the...
And he did.
I went wakeboarding, and I'm as injured as he was.
But, yes, he came back, and they fed him a lot, but he was not productive. Now,
he was actually really bad.
That may just be how because the team had moved away from that, and they were all passing. And
Yeah, Sony Michel is the more productive back when he was there.
You would think, though, in that aspect, when that team was all heavily passing, that it would be easier run lanes.
Right, that's the whole point of a balanced offense is that
you're not loading the box.
Yeah.
So
nice box.
So I think Cam Akers can be really good. It's just that concern of either a re-injury or just not being able to hold up.
And this will be his season because he was a rookie last year.
Yep.
So this is the season that really his first real test.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's got a full offseason. So.
And Twitter, by the way, agrees with you. It was like 54 or 57% Cam Akers is the guy out of those three. So
and I get it.
Yeah,
I'm just concerned about the injury.
How wrong Twitter can be. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, when they don't follow Rick or my advice.
It's okay. There's only one champ in the room right now, at least the most recent one. Which, speaking of which, I got to get the belt engraved and get it to. Is it Dean?
Chris.
You'll
never find him. It's fine.
So just hold on to it.
Dude, I don't understand how you guys. Some of these guys will win and then just not. You did this last year where you won and then you just waited a while. You weren't like worried about getting your trophy.
That was all Todd's fault.
That's all Todd. Todd was waiting.
Yeah. But
so I'm
like,
just
I was like
along.
ready to go, man. Like I was like down there the day after.
We have the picture
proof of how you were ready to go.
I was not ready to let it go.
I have a shirt design on the edge of production with that picture.
It's not a good picture. You guys are not gonna like.
Are we
it.
having a live draft for One Shitty?
I hope not. Not now. Okay, so
I'm gonna put that as a cape.
So as a cape, nice. Okay, all right. I would wear that cape. I would absolutely wear that cape.
We should get a green screen and just put that on back there.
No, we should not. That would definitely not be good. I'd never sell a house again. Never sell it. I can say cunt all I want on this thing, but if I put that up there, nobody's buying shit from me.
Speaking of, since you guys got me on
Speaking
the boys,
of cunt or that. Oh yeah, cunt.
Amanda doesn't like the word, so I don't say it around. But you guys are my cunts.
Yes. Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
It's really a bummer we don't live in a different country where that's an acceptable
I
word.
think
Plenty of countries where that's acceptable.
You have to put the Irish. You can't it can't be hard like it is in American.
Well, I mean, but
phrasing.
In Australia, it's a pretty like.
Oh yeah, it's like us saying like you little shithead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're talking about Dynasty today, right? So we're gonna
that's
talk
what we're
all
gonna
things.
go into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I got you guys into, and I have pared down my dynasty leagues drastically.
Yeah. How many leagues do you think you're going to be in this year?
I'm not joining any extra ones, so it is right now. The number is.
Are you
17.
Are you fully on Sleeper?
Yes.
Okay.
So fully in Sleeper, I'm in our One Shitty League, one other redraft, the $10 PPR, our Dynasty, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total leagues.
7 more?
7 dynasties and 2 redrafts.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, because
you.
dynasty is pretty easy.
Dynasty's pretty easy. You can. The problem is, so my problem with having that many leagues is that it's hard to root for anybody at that point. I mean, unless all of your leagues are more or less built the same, then you're either playing against somebody or you're rooting for somebody or you're.
Well, that's like last year. I had Najee in all 3 of my leagues. It was great.
Yeah, you could easily.
I could root for Najee every week.
Right. So there's something to be said about being able to be in every game, and whenever somebody hits a touchdown, you get a point somewhere.
And the only dynasties I'm really concerned with is ours because all the other ones are free. This is our league.
Yeah.
Same thing as the 2 redrafts. They're leagues where it's money tied to it, and then Mega Bowl's coming up. So
Speaking of, we're doing the mega.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the big year for. Okay, so we'll get into that in our Fantasy 101 podcast. Okay, so Dynasty League. What is a Dynasty League? Tell me about a Dynasty League. What's
Dynasty,
the difference there?
You're basically running it like you are a NFL franchise.
Correct.
You are drafting once, and then that's it. The only other drafts are every year as the rookies come out. So it's just a supplemental draft. So you have a much bigger roster. You have your same starting 11 players.
Yep.
But then you're going to have a 15 to 20 person depth bench along with what's called the taxi squad. It's basically like how NFL runs a practice squad. You put your rookies there. They can be there for a couple years while they develop so they're not tying up a roster spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you can put players in there that are up to 3 years in the league.
Right. Mm-hmm. The big thing is once you pull them out, they can't go back in.
Yeah.
In season.
In season. Yeah.
Yeah, before the season starts, you can move that around as much as you want. Yeah. You can put players, if you a rookie is going to start right away, you can take them out and put somebody else that's not quite made that leap yet.
Whereas in a redraft, you're drafting your same 11 player, you're starting the same 11, but you have a 5-man, usually 5 or 6-man bench.
Which means that you're rotating people in and out of that bench all the time because
of
bye weeks and injuries and all that shit.
Waiver wire, you're active. You're picking up players, dropping players all the time. In Dynasty, you're not. Dynasty, you are building a dynasty, a franchise. So
it's way more busy in the offseason with trades and that sort of thing.
And trades are key. Otherwise, your team will die. You got to trade, and you got to draft or move capital around. So
so effectively what you have is you've got a redraft league, but at the end of the season, you keep all of your players. Top to bottom, you keep all of your players, and then at the beginning of every season, you get all new, all the rookies come in, and you do a rookie draft.
Usually 3 rounds.
3 or 4 rounds, and you don't get any more room on your roster, though. So you have to pick who you want to kick and who you want to keep.
Yep. Right. Like after this year, people are going to have to make decisions on dropping bench players because we've already maxed out our taxi squad.
Yep, exactly. So, so there were a number of different strategies and stuff like that involved in terms of playing the game on a regular basis. But in terms of drafting, there are 2 drafts that happen. There is the startup draft. So if you're starting a brand new league, the startup draft is all of the current active players, not counting the rookies from this current season. So 2022 rookies are not in this draft, and now you start
drafting. Yeah. You're still doing your traditional snake style draft. That's one big thing. Later, when you go to rookie drafts, it's linear, like the NFL. Right. You're going. So it's by position.
Right.
Whoever was the worst team in the league gets the first pick overall and progresses on. So that's where you come into in your starter draft. We have to decide what strategy are you wanting to do. Do you want to build for win this year, or do you want to plan to basically look at what your team's going to be in the next 3 or 4 years?
Because the really hard objective, the really difficult thing to do is to build a Patriots-like franchise that is going to be successful over the next
year in and year out.
Consistently,
yeah, exactly. So if you can, great. But likely you're going to be one of those teams. This is much more of an ebb and flow style of playing where you're going to be not great some years. You're going to be really competitive some years.
There's some years where as your dynasty goes along, because a lot of dynasties will last like 5 or 10 years. There's some years where you just have to sell everything and be like, this is my rebuilding
Time to
year.
reset.
I'm
I
getting
thought I was
some
gonna
draft picks. I'm working my way in. I'm going to make as many trades as possible going into this season. I'm not going to be competitive this year. I'll do my best.
Right. You're
But-
not tanking because
Yeah,
tanking
you're not
is for
tanking.
bitches.
Right.
We don't do that.
Or you just keep raping the same player year after year after
True.
year.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
And
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But so
I didn't rape him this year.
this is our third. We're going to our third
No,
season.
not this year.
I haven't raped him. I mean, I tucked the tip, but I didn't put the tip to it. But
Right.
I didn't rape him. It was a good trade for him this year.
Yeah.
This
But
are-
he is my annual trade partner. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's like I fly into town and he's my hookup. You know what I mean?
I don't know how he doesn't pay attention to anything else in the offseason, but somehow always gets a trade done
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. Right.
going in. This is what our third year on the Dynasty.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. We're going to our third year, and I was already having to probably make a rebuild because some of the players I drafted weren't performing the way they wanted. Some hurt, some whatever. So I was looking at getting ready to ship some players off. I moved a couple to you to get different capital, and that's
Took Antonio Gibson from you.
and I got
Or
him
no,
from
I
you,
gave him to you.
and then I sent him back to you.
And then I got him back, and
yeah, and
I
then-
love trading, so I'm basically just like I don't know, willing victim, I guess is what it is. Where I'm ready. I'm just so happy to have somebody communicating with me because I'm so starved for attention.
You're the one on the sidewalk in the short skirt and the high heels.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people are like, "Hey, how much for a couple hours?" I'd be like, "Fucking free. Just hop on. Let me open up the door and I'm in. Like, let's go."
And you originally traded Debo to me, right?
No. I might have because I think I did draft Debo.
Yeah, you traded him to me for I think I sent
Somehow
you
I somehow ended up with Debo and because I traded him to you and then Brandon.
And Brandon sent me I didn't have to rebuild my roster anymore trade.
Yeah.
Brandon gave up his
So
future.
much.
And apparently he was on the edge of handing me $100 bill for Debo, which I'm not a super huge fan of outside the world of fantasy football trade incentives, but I'm not totally against taking $100 cash. This next year, if I win, what is it, $200?
Yeah.
I win half of that right away. Devo's yours.
So
Rebuild.
in place, I got Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
and Cooper Kupp. And there's someone else, or was it a draft pick? I think it was his first round. It was his first round.
Yeah,
107.
You went from rebuild to rebuilt right away.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was pretty good. So anyway,
Yeah.
in terms of draft strategy goes, or drafts go, your startup drafts, you want to target, I guess the overall is you want to balance youth, you want to balance opportunity, and you want to balance what their potential production will be.
Right.
Yeah, it's delayed a little bit.
Okay.
Whereas in a from a dynasty to a redraft, especially in the first couple rounds,
Yeah.
they kind of skew a little bit more towards the younger side or the players within the last 2 to 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get longevity. Don't be afraid of veterans, but you want to have
Yeah, don't avoid
those
big names.
valuable,
Yeah.
those really valuable picks, because you're not going to get another opportunity to draft whoever's in these first 3 rounds ever again. It's going to be a trade only.
Right.
So
Yeah, you don't want to draft all young players and just, you might be set up 3-4 years down the road, but you also want to be competitive at the start.
The younger they are, the more variables there are in their career.
Right.
Meaning Jamar Chase last year, everybody thought he was going to be good. Nobody thought he was going to be that good.
Yeah.
And that
nobody
productive.
anticipates him to be that level this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet he's still going as the number 3, number 2, wide receiver in Dynasty.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Dynasty, he's
Yep.
going as the number 2 player off the board. And yet in redraft, I think he's going as
The third receiver.
third receiver off the board, which is typically second round.
Yeah.
So you balance all of these different things. You try and come up with your best way to. You want to be productive now while preparing for the future, and there are different ways you can go about doing that. You can draft. I think when I started my draft, our dynasty this a couple years ago, I went heavy on veterans up front, and it paid off for me at that point in terms of longevity. I've done pretty well, but mostly what I was able to do was capitalize on a bunch of different trades to backfill some youth. For example, in that one trade rape that apparently I did, allegedly had the first one. I ended up picking up a first round pick from the player, and getting a decent player in return. And what I ended up doing with that first round pick was it was the second overall pick last year. I got Jamar Chase.
Right.
So now on my team that's really RB heavy, all of a sudden I've got one of the best young wide receivers on the league. Now there's no question about it. It was luck. I didn't know my players at the time very well, but some of it was luck. But mostly I listened to you, and when you did the podcast last year, you were talking him up a bunch, and I was like, hey, well, I'll take that guy. He looks nice.
Worked out.
But at the same time, CEA gets talked up like he's the best best combination of youth, skill position, and this is, we're talking about rookie drafts at this point, but youth, skill position, and landing spot.
Team placement.
And at Kansas City, that was just a bomb.
Yeah.
So what would be, for the people who are looking
Real
at...
quick.
Yeah.
You guys remember watching the very first game, Kansas City?
Yes.
Yeah.
That year?
Yep.
And watching them run CEH
At the goal line and not getting it in?
up
Eight times?
8 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
In a row from the 2-yard line.
get across that line.
It was so hard to watch.
Yep.
They wanted to make that work so bad,
Yep.
and it just absolutely blew up.
Yep.
And that
So-
I honestly think that point right there ruined CEH, because
I think so, too.
he wasn't this end all be all player that they wanted him to be, but that's not who they drafted. They drafted a pass catcher.
Yep.
What I just saw, that literally is like going back to your loadout just to get killed every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
just keep dropping back in on your loadout while there's a fucking 2 or 3 teams camping it, just waiting.
Yeah.
Or your loadout drops on the fucking tower. God damn it.
So
Died 3 times yesterday.
what
getting
would
that.
be your, for the start, people looking at just starting up, and say you're in the, like, the top 10 is a little harder to position because there's, at the back end it gets a little more variable. What's your top, really, like, top 6, top 7 for both of you guys? I know what mine is.
Well, I mean, my top probably 3. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is our consensus 101. The thing is with running backs, when you're not looking at rookies, you have to look at their age and their production that they've done so far. Jonathan Taylor hits both of those in spades.
Yeah.
And what O-line they're behind.
Whereas the issue with running backs is after that first contract,
they fall
off hard.
Right.
And teams are seeing that,
They've already figured that out.
and they're
now.
not paying their guys
Right.
to stay.
Yeah.
And the few guys that have been paid recently haven't been as productive as they should
They've
have been.
proven why they shouldn't have gotten paid.
Zeke,
Yep.
he's still been productive, but not to the same extent before
Nowhere
he got
close.
paid. CMC gets paid, and he's basically not been on the field since.
And then Saquon Barkley got paid and then has not been on the field since.
Yeah.
Kamara got paid, and he has been, but there's
But
some
then they
outliers.
lost Drew Brees, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Derrick Henry's the only one that's gotten paid and still been productive.
Yep, and he only went down last year with a broken foot, and obviously that's not good.
Yeah.
But to me, because there's a lot of fear about Derrick Henry this year and whether or not he's finally breaking down because of all of the contact and everything that he's had. He broke a bone, like
Yeah, it's something that he can 100% come back from.
Right.
It's not a ligament. It's
not soft tissue.
Yeah,
it's not soft tissue, it's not a ligament. He didn't tear his ACL. He didn't do anything like that, and so
yeah, it's not like turf toe or something that can absolutely end a career.
Yeah.
right. This is why I don't get all of the shade, I guess, on Derrick Henry this year. But so Jonathan Taylor.
Who's your number 2?
My number 2 would be Justin Jefferson.
Yours?
That was mine too.
Same.
Okay.
3?
Is probably Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Jamar Chase. But this is where I already start to get a little bit mixed up because I have such an affinity for proven talent. Because I feel confident enough in my ability to put together deals to get rid of or put together a youthful team as I go. So that's my problem here is this is why you can't go off of ADP, right? I mean, your ADP, your ADPs on fantasypros.com is going to be set already. And then you just might as well get, I mean, if you want to play that way, just go on auto pick. Who gives a shit? But for me, I value veteran and established locations more. So Derrick Henry, this is where I'm going to start to look at Derrick Henry, even though in most dynasty leagues, he's not going until the back of the second or early third.
Okay, here, I'm going to give you 3 names, and where do you put them in those names? Najee, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry. What's your orient? How are you drafting them?
That's close.
Mine is easy for me. Najee,
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, or Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon.
See, that's so funny. Mine's not.
See,
that.
I'm Najee, Austin, Mixon, Henry.
Fuck, this
Yeah.
is why I love this fucking game, dude. I have a hard time saying this, but I think I'm Najee. But it's actually close to me because I actually like Joe Mixon and then Derrick Henry. So
I like Joe Mixon. I don't like how injured he has been in his career
Right.
so
Yeah.
far. So
Like,
when you're
100%.
when you're looking at it, at least I know with Derrick Henry, I know what I'm getting.
Yep.
I know I'm going to get a ton of work.
Yeah.
And more than likely, he's going to make it through this season.
And my whole point on, or the point that I've got on Najee is that he is going to end up as this last year he just volumed the shit out of his role. Now we don't have Big Ben there for the first time in 20 years. And so is he going to get more volume there? But he didn't actually make a ton of his volume on rushing attempts. A lot of his volume came on dump-off passes. And now he's going to have a quarterback. He's going to have Trubisky, or he's going to have a quarterback that's trying to prove that they can be a quarterback, not a guy that can dump off the ball to.
I still think the value that he has, one, in age,
Yeah.
and two, and he's gonna still get a lot of work because
Yeah.
that team only runs one running
And he's
back.
a bigger running back who can take a lot more, like how Henry is.
Yeah.
You can take a bigger workload and bigger pounding versus
Yeah.
like.
That's,
I mean,
that's
Mixon
why
his
in
ankles
those
seem to be an
he's
issue.
easily the number one for me. In that group of 4.
Yeah. But this is what makes the game so fun is when you're looking at ADP on all of these things, it goes Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, then Najee Harris, and then DeAndre Swift, and then Christian McCaffrey, and then we're back into wide receivers at CeeDee Lamb. We haven't even talked about Javonte Williams yet and the potential that he's got. But the short-term potential for Javonte Williams is shot in the foot because they keep
Bringing back Melvin Gordon.
and they talked about how they want to feed him the ball this year.
I did hear that the coaches came out and said they're going to have Gordon on a pitch count.
I heard that they're both going to be on a pitch count today.
Yeah.
I read that they're
one
both
should be a lot less, like 0, and just give it all to Javonte.
right. So Dynasty is tough. The startup draft is all about: do you want to build something that's going to start winning now, or do you want to build something that is going to be really good in the next year or two? And I went the route where I want something now. I mean, I gave up a shit ton of draft picks so I could move up and get a high-end running back, a blue-chip running back, and it worked out okay for me, but that's mostly because I got some good trades put together.
Yeah, and when you get the trades put together, it's so satisfying when you get it done. But you can get fantastic value in them. You're not going to win your championship in your first 3 rounds. You're just setting up really good players.
Right.
It's going to be your 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th rounds that you're going to get massive value from veterans. Like, you're going to get someone like who's a sleeper right now because he's hurt, Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's come back. Allen Robinson finally has a fucking quarterback. And they're going back to back to each other, and I would absolutely smash Allen Robinson in real life probably too. But he was fantastic when he was on with Blake Bortles, and he was still very, very relevant even with Trubisky. So I think he's going to be one of those where you can go RB heavy or go, don't worry about some of the top end wide receivers necessarily if you don't see if like, oh, do you want to reach to grab say you're the 105, you're kind of fucking middle in no man's land right there even in the start of a draft. So you're going to sit there with, okay, do you take CMC, do you take Tyreek Hill, do you take Cooper Kupp, all those players floating around there,
right?
Maybe take a stab for your short-term high production running backs, skip those wide receivers and get value later on because you can go into your rookie draft and get a young running back.
Try and target somebody young, yeah, right.
So,
and typically on a startup, you randomize your order on the startup, or you come up with a clever way to do your first order, and then your rookie draft is reverse order of that year.
Yep,
but only that year.
Only that year.
So here's a question for you. In order to get Travis Kelce in a redraft, he's more than likely going at the end of the first round.
Or very start of the second.
Correct. Whereas in a dynasty draft, Kyle Pitts is in that area.
Right.
Yes.
Where would you be comfortable drafting Travis Kelce in a dynasty?
In a dynasty,
What round would you have to hit?
3rd or 4th.
Scott just said 4th.
Yeah, it's 4th. Going at the beginning of the 4th round.
3rd or 4th, because if you get great production from him and you could flip him the next year and try to get
That's my thing with
value.
the vets is what I like about vets is on their downhill slide, and this is all about strategy now, right? On their downhill slide, you can get name value out of them and trade them to somebody who's not paying attention. I mean, because not everybody is the best player in the league.
Especially right now. He's Mahomes' safety blanket, and he lost his other safety blanket in Hill. So Kelce.
I actually don't like Kelce this year. I think this is a great year. If I've got Kelce on my dynasty team, this is a great year. I'm hoping for a couple of bang games out of the gate.
There will be.
And then I'm gonna dump him off for as many picks as I can possibly get or players.
He's getting up there too.
Yeah, because his age is up there, and his team just got.
Did you see the Farva picture I guys sent you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't unsee it anymore.
Right.
It's funny.
Imagine, this dude was so handsome with the beard. Like 2 years ago, he came out and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Travis Kelce
with his fade."
Right. Like he was looking fresh, and now looks like
he owns a van.
Skinny. Yeah, down by the river. Like for sure. Like he is. There's something wrong with this dude. Speaking of felonies, that guy's definitely got some felonies.
He looks like someone Dexter would try to hunt down.
Yeah, I think so.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is once you're done with your startup draft, now you move to
your rookie draft.
Right.
Which is, so in your startup rookie draft, like we said, it's reversed from what you're, so the person, say it's a 10 team startup draft.
You're on camera.
Yeah, my
Fucking
bad.
asshole.
You're 110. You're 110
like you're supposed to know.
Your last pick in the first round, whoever got the 10th spot in the startup has the 101.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's sometimes that's where you could comes into the strategy on a startup is like, okay, I have the 101. I can go grab Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker or whoever's in your start first.
Yeah. So for example, if I'm in a 10-team league and I'm doing a startup right now and I take Derrick Henry at the 10th spot, which is way ahead of anybody else according to ADP. Now I've got this blue chip 2022 running back.
Yep.
And now I've got the first pick in the and the rookie draft. And I could take Breece Hall if I want to balance out that age gap, or I can trade him off because I've already got my number 1 and probably a number 2 running back pretty well solid for this year. So I could trade that out and try and accumulate draft picks down the road.
Correct.
I'm always turning draft picks right now. And so that's where you get a lot more flexibility. Just because you're drafting in the startup at the back end doesn't mean that you're without value, because you're going to have that value in the rookie draft now.
Yeah. And you're going to get fantastic players in any rookie draft, usually all the way up through almost the end of the second round, depending on the size of your league. If it's 16 players, probably not. But if you're 10, 12, you're still going to get really good players that are going to contribute. Like even a running back that's taken this last one, Pacheco with the Chiefs, is having some buzz.
Now he's starting to get some buzz, yeah.
Right.
And
again, this is preseason buzz, but it's still buzz.
And those are the players you grab and
I
put on.
don't trust any Kansas City running backs.
But those are the ones you grab and you put on your taxi squad, because they make the team for special teams, whatever, and they work their way and they contribute, and then next thing you know, 2-3 seasons, they're a fantasy stud.
Right.
So I mean, Tyreek Hill came out, he was not everything that first season, and then he just exploded.
Yeah, when it comes to the rookies, you have to look at their landing spot more so than anything else, because that's what you're going off of, because everybody's just guessing on production.
Right.
On what they think they're going to do.
What you mean is, just to clarify, because we had this big discussion ahead of time, is not just do you land on KC, are you on a high-powered offense, but are you on, say, the Lions, where there's nobody else to feed the ball to.
Right.
So,
like it.
Yeah.
You know,
Are
Breece Hall.
you going to be? Is the offense
Breece Hall,
going to move through you?
yeah, opportunity.
Yes. Because that's where they're going to be that first couple of draft picks, such as last year when we had Najee and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
They both had huge potential with their landing spots.
Right.
You had Jamar Chase coming into the Bengals with Joe Burrow,
Yep.
Who we play college with.
who he played college with. So there's that automatic, hey, I know this guy. I
Right.
know how to play with this guy. And you had Najee going into the Steelers, with the Steelers being one of those teams that only ever runs one running back.
Yeah,
Right.
Tomlin is a 1 RB.
And you had an aged
Coach.
quarterback who you knew was going to be dumping the ball off
Right.
as much as possible.
Right. It was the perfect storm for a running back.
Yeah.
That's where you have that value. That's why this year for me, I was concerned. I wouldn't have wanted the first round pick or the first pick like you had.
Yeah.
And I know you tried to trade out of it, but you
did.
couldn't get anybody to bite on it.
And I was nervous you were going to trade it to Fickles, because I knew he would not take a Jets player. He hates the Jets. So I moved up with you.
Yep.
Because I wanted Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
I saw the potential, where he went, got drafted
Right.
by
Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle, that Chris Carson wasn't guaranteed at that time, and come out, he retired.
He did retire.
Rashad Penny, who's a fucking injury waiting to happen.
Yep.
True.
And then, boom. He's probably one of the most. I did a lot because I thought Dolphins were going to try to go after running back, and he was the one I wanted outside of Breece
Yeah,
Hall.
you've thought that for 2 years in a row.
Oh, fuck Denver, because I guarantee you they were going for Javonte Williams,
Yeah.
and they moved up in front of him.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, so this year with Breece Hall going to the Jets,
Yeah.
he's a very good running back coming out of college. Will that translate well going into the Jets?
Right, and we ran into this before. We talked about it earlier about CEH, where there are good players that go to a great spot and then they don't fit. They don't get used the right way because something happens or whatever. And just speaking of CEH real quick, part of the news that we forgot to mention was Kareem Hunt's asking for a trade.
A trade, yeah.
So where is the best place for him to go? I think it's clear. The best place for him to go, back to KC.
I don't think they do it because
I
of
don't
how
know
he
that they
left.
would do.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know that they would either. But
I
I'm
don't.
just
Yeah,
saying that would be my favorite
that would be
spot
the
for him.
concern with just about any team not wanting that. Not wanting.
I think he's beyond the drama pull of that.
and he probably is.
By
But
the way, that we're talking about the domestic abuse.
Yeah.
That
Kick the girl in the elevator, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
NFL players just stay out of elevators.
fuck
Yeah.
it.
Or cars.
Or they should just stop beating women.
Because Hollywood Brown decided to get criminally charged with criminal speeding because I don't know how fast he was going.
120 something from what I heard.
Jesus.
Cool.
Yeah.
At least he didn't go the Henry Ruggs route.
And 150 and crash into a car and kill someone?
Yeah.
And a dog?
He wasn't drunk, so he was just being dumb.
He's just being awesome. Okay, so youth and not youth. Landing and opportunity specifically is very crucial to these rookie picks, and then balancing out your team. Like I said, like if I've got a veteran heavy team, I want to go in and start targeting. Get my team younger in the positions that are aging. Where I've got a bunch of blue chip, older running backs.
Yeah.
I needed to youth those up, but at the same time, because I got all of those running backs, I had no youth I had no wide receiving core. That's why last year I had to go heavy on my wide receivers, and so I ended up picking up fucking Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, and I feel really good about those. But now my wide receiver core, my starting two wide receiver core, pretty well set until AJ Brown fucker came in and ruined my connection over there. But so building your team, the future is super important when it comes to this.
And I'm in Dynasty. I probably have one of the younger teams.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, my oldest player is probably
really cool sleeper. If we could figure that out, do an average age of your team. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool stat
idea.
line.
Speaking
Sleeper,
of,
get that.
Talking about starting up dynasties or any redraft, just go to Sleeper. Don't fuck around with any other ones.
Yeah, that's true. We've
tried them all.
Next week, we're going to do our best practices, our Fantasy 101 episode. And
I think that might be the most important part is select the right platform.
Platform is a big deal because a frustrating platform is going to get people disinterested quickly.
Yeah, fuck you, ESPN.
Yeah.
A frustrating platform and frustrating league setup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I mean,
not having a kicker or something like that.
You see things where leagues have like a transaction limit or or you can only spend so much a week with fab money and all this other stuff, and it just like making limits like that, I think just ruins the experience of what fantasy football can.
What I don't like is usually I've been in leagues where you have to go through this vetoing process for trades. If two teams agree on a trade, even though it's a shitty ass trade for one, that's still a trade.
The only reason that a trade should be vetoed is
a clear-cut collusion.
Clear collusion. Not somebody got screwed, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes with me, you get screwed.
Sometimes people value certain players a lot more than everybody else in the league.
Brandon wanted Debo.
Yeah.
He was going for Debo no matter what.
Yeah.
He was going to get him.
He sold out for it, and that's fine. I fucking love that. We talk about that when we're talking about draft strategy. Who gives a shit what your ADP is? If you want a guy, go get him.
Yeah. And
who has Tyreek Hill?
And it's the same with trades.
I don't know.
I think you do.
No. Do I?
You can send a trade like that because I think Brandon was the one that sent you that trade. It's not like you asked for
he sent it to me.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. You may look like the clear winner, but in his mind, he's the clear winner.
He fucking got it.
He got the player he wanted.
Yeah.
Yep. And this happens in selling homes. It's when trying to determine the price. It's the market's going to determine the price for you. What your job is to do is try and guess about where that's at.
Yeah.
No matter what, the market's going to determine it. So if you think that your home's worth $600,000 and nobody sends you an offer for it, but they send you an offer for $550, your home's worth $550.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it's worth.
Right.
Not $600. You're wrong.
Right.
And so this is the same thing. Debo Smith was worth all of those awesome things.
Yeah.
He wanted Debo. He went out and he got him. And goddamn bless him for that.
Like I would pay up more right now for Tyreek Hill because I'm a Dolphins fan.
Exactly. And if I've got Tyreek Hill, which I might have, I don't remember.
I think it might be Seahawks or Justin Cram.
Yeah,
I think about it.
But I absolutely, again, we're going into the next week's episode here, but I absolutely look for those things. I look for
Brandon
team?
has him. Because I offered a I thought a fucking great trade, but
yeah. So your rookie drafts, you want to prioritize running back because most of the time, your best opportunity and your best skilled running backs are going to get carries right away out of the gate. Statistically, they're the most useful rookie out of any position. Next is landing spot, how they fit into that system and how many opportunities you're going to have. QBs are very dependent on talent and on landing spot, of course. So you could be a really talented quarterback, but you land in the wrong spot, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you're Jordan Love, and I have no idea of his talent, he's not playing.
He's starting.
He's starting preseason.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's against the Niners.
But it's against the Niners. So he's fucked.
No, I'm just saying it's against the Niners. Aaron Rodgers didn't want to play against the
Aaron
Niners.
Rodgers doesn't want to play against the Niners. He doesn't like taking those L's like that. And then finally, wide receivers are going to be all over the place. They're a little bit more of a dart throw because really skilled wide receivers can come into the league and often come into the league and don't perform well right away.
There's a thing in fantasy. Well, I mean, not in fantasy, but in the NFL, where it's the year 2 leap.
Yeah.
And that's what most wide receivers do. Most wide receivers don't come into the league. We've been very spoiled the last couple of years with players like Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
These guys, Jalen Waddle, that just come in and just blow up their first year.
And
that doesn't happen very often. And speaking of that with tight ends as well, it's even less likely. It's normally like 2 or 3 years before you start seeing
any production.
A tight end that comes in and starts producing really well.
Right, because they got to build size, they got to learn the game, and tight ends are more heavily built on, or the position is more blocking based than wide receivers, and so these guys got to learn new skills against fucking amazing athletic people.
Yeah,
and
the other thing with tight ends, a lot of times you see them at one team for a couple of years, and it's not until they move a team that they actually start producing. Yeah. It's kind of weird how that happens with tight ends.
Yep.
But sometimes they start produce
Hooper, and then
they move
yeah.
and then they
fall
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't ever hear their name again.
They're not the Tony Gonzalez.
Right. So then after you're done with both your drafts, now you're into the meat of the season. And this is where paying attention to the current season, paying attention to future seasons, draft picks, things like that. I don't make any trade. I virtually don't make any single trade without adding draft picks of some kind because I believe wholeheartedly that every single person in the world of fantasy football overvalues or undervalues draft picks. Nobody ever values them right. I overvalue them or I undervalue them. And I lose out on trades all the time because I'm like, it's a first round pick. You don't fucking need that. And then
you do.
Then you do. And then, because when you're trading future picks, you don't know what pick you're getting, right? I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like when I made that pick with Seahawks fan JC, what's his name? Justin?
Justin, yeah.
Yeah, so when I made that trade with Justin, I made a trade with him, and that could have been for the 109.
Right.
And instead, I got lucky and I got the 102. And then this last year, I made a trade and I ended up with the 101 for this year.
Right.
Like, that's just luck. I mean, that's part picking your trade partners and part making good trades, but most of it is just luck because good teams lose the wrong games and now they're the back end of the league.
Right.
So preparing for future drafts, and then, I think a big thing is recognizing your position on the scale of am I win now or win later, right? I mean, so like there's some players that are in a rebuild, right? I mean, you'll hear that term all the time. Rebuild. I'm in a rebuild now.
Yep. So you're selling off blue chips or good players and trying to collect as much draft capital to kind of build up the potential in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is when you're in a year, if you're kind of middle of the pack, you can target the teams that are winning strongly, and you can target the teams that are falling apart and kind of in a rebuild.
Yep.
And you can not attack, but you can look at those differently.
Look at those advantages.
And build your team in a better way by using that advantage where you have, hey, I know that you don't need these players right now, but hey, you could really use this receiver. This receiver would help you win right now. I'm not winning, but I'm not rebuilding.
It's week 8 and I am, 2-6.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of bad beats or something like that.
Right.
That's not gonna. I don't have a bad team necessarily, but I've got a long uphill battle to climb to get to the playoffs and then have a competitive team. Now I'm not probably giving up at 6-2, but at
3-10,
7-3, 3-10. Yeah, you're done. Game over.
Right.
If you're at 6-6, you might be done.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, if you've lost 6 games and there are 14 games now? No, 13 games. 13 games. So they're 10 before the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you lost 6 games, you're probably not going to make the playoffs.
you can make a push if you're willing to take a stab.
Yeah. So the point is that keeping an eye on where everybody else is at in terms of not just recognizing where you're at win now or build for the future, but recognizing where other people are at and trying to capitalize on that.
Yeah, because if you have a player that's towards the end of their career, but can help somebody get that final push,
Yeah.
and you could get a couple of young guys that have big value, but you have a player like, I don't know, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
If you have a player like Travis Kelce, and they don't have a great tight end,
Yep.
why not throw an offer at them, see if you can get value for that pick that they perceive as they're totally winning the trade and you're totally winning the trade.
Right. Because everybody's looking at it from a different scale.
Exactly.
This guy is looking at it from the scale of, if I get this A+ tight end, all of a sudden I've got to walk in through the playoffs.
And he's like, I don't even need these receivers right now because I have these other receivers and I wasn't going to play them.
Exactly. So this is all super important stuff to pay attention to. It's what makes fantasy football or dynasty fantasy football really fun.
And then lastly, paying attention in the offseason to what team moves are being done. Obviously, this is a whole season away at this point.
Yeah.
But watching, you have a player like Devontae Adams.
I knew you were sending me something. I just had a feeling. You were sending.
Yeah.
I saw him in Dynasty or in Sleeper making a trade and or proposing a trade, and then he put his phone down and my phone and my watch vibrated. I was like, I fucking knew it, man.
Yeah.
I knew he was sending me something.
But watching a team like Devontae Adams, obviously you're not giving Devontae Adams up, but it's things like that you got to keep an eye on. He's going from the team he blew up on to a completely new team. Sometimes that works out. Other times it doesn't work out at all.
Usually when you move away from Aaron Rodgers, you're going to go to a worse quarterback.
True.
That being said, we're looking at Derek Carr, who is an above-average quarterback.
And was his
college
quarterback.
And that's what we're seeing a lot more of, I think, in the last couple of years, is we're seeing how teams are getting around that 2-year, that second-year leap, is they're trying to pair him up with their favorite quarterback from college.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden these guys, Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase, they already have the chemistry.
Tua and Waddle and
now Devontae Adams with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
We'll see how that affects because it's been years since they played.
But apparently they practice every offseason.
Oh yeah.
They practice every offseason together.
Yeah.
So it's not like
they haven't. It's not like they haven't texted.
Together. Yeah.
All they've done is play Call of Duty.
I guess
together.
they're like the best buds in college too.
Yeah.
So I think one of them was like the god. I think Adams is a godfather to one of Derek Carr's kids or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of connection there. So I was just using it as an example to keep an eye where your players are moving to, because a lot of things happen in the offseason and a lot of movement happens. And so what once was a good position all of a sudden can get kind of muddy because you have this top tier player coming in place and you're like, oh, maybe they're not the top target anymore.
Yeah. Right, and if you're not paying attention, Hunter Renfro last year was just like the darling of the
It's ironic that
PPR.
he's talking about Hunter Renfro right now.
So Hunter Renfro was the darling last year of PPR because he just kept getting fed the ball over and over and over again. And now you come in and you've got Davante Adams, who's used to having a 30% share.
I think it
targets.
enhances him though.
It might make the value of his. He's already trying to sell me on getting.
Well, that's the whole point that when I traded for him originally is because, Davante Adams is going to pull some, but he's going to pull a ton of coverage.
Yeah.
Right, and the connection that Hunter Renfro and Carr have is irrefutable.
Unless you're buying
he's
again the
safe.
Uber, because have you seen the Uber that Hunter Renfro chose?
No,
it was
I
like
didn't.
some
Oh my
compact,
God,
and they're
yeah.
like, their knees are in their chest. They're trying
Derek
to get,
Carr, Devontae Adams, and one of the other receivers.
Renfro.
No, there was another guy in the back seat.
Oh, there was.
Besides
Okay.
that, and then Hunter Renfro's in the front seat, and it's a compact car.
and his knees are bent up so it can make room for Devontae and Derek Carr behind him.
That's
And he's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
And
embarrassing.
somebody was like, the caption was like, Hunter's not allowed to
Get
order
the-
the
call the Uber
he's not calling the Ubers anymore. Yeah. He's never had to order an Uber XL before.
No.
And Davante Adams that's all he orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pay attention to the league, see how they're coming out, because Hunter Renfro was a PPR darling last year. Now Davante Adams comes in and he's going to demand a target share of some kind. So Renfro's targets are going to drop, but are the quality of those targets going to go up? Is it going to be enough to balance it all out?
Right.
I don't know. We'll find out on this trade here. I'm pretty excited to see what it is. I don't know.
We'll take a look at it.
You guys talk about something fun.
I mean, I think that's about it, really. I mean, unless you
I
got
mean,
something
you're
else.
looking at their running back situation isn't great there. He was used out of the backfield some as a sweep.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Darren Waller's is
There's
healthier.
there's Darren Waller, there's Hunter Renfro, and now Devontae Adams. It's just how good is that offense going to be with the defenses that they're going to be facing on a regular basis to, like, the touchdown totals are going to come down for Devontae Adams. There's no doubt about that.
Right, because
Right.
the Raiders are not going to be scoring that many touchdowns.
He may have similar targets.
Yep.
But his touchdown total is going to
Touchdown percentage is going to regress.
So-
His touchdown percentage at the Packers was bound to regress because it was an unsustainable rate for 2 years in a row.
Right.
So, so Hunter Renfro and Kenneth Walker for Tyreek Hill. Probably not going to happen because I'm pretty excited to see what happens with.
That's always
There
a
you go.
starting point. That's the point of every trade.
Exactly. So, next week, we're going to do our Fantasy 101 episode. We're going to talk about different.
I thought a Seahawk would trick him into that.
I know. See, that's what he was doing. He was using that bias towards Seahawks to snow
And
my
a
vision.
young running back.
Young running back. The problem is that the Seahawks have not drafted a healthy young running back in fucking forever. So,
Kenneth Walker's.
yeah.
Maybe.
So is Rashad Penny.
No, he was hurt coming out of college.
Rashad Penny had the highest yards after contact before the scrimmage line than any other running back, meaning he got hit behind the line all the time
It shows
and
on his
then
body.
kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, kept going. But and that's what we wanted. And then what we got was broken ass motherfucker. Like that dude is busted.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for him.
I think the biggest issue is Scott's already in the mindset of my team's going to be garbage this year.
I'm looking forward to my defense, but only in the frame of I think next year.
Yeah.
The defense is going to be fucking lights out. I think this year Jamal Adams already broke his fucking hand again. So that trade just gets better and better every year.
You were mad when that trade happened.
Dude, I was mad when that trade happened. Look, I'm a fan of Jamal Adams. I'm a fan of what he can do. I just hope that they continue to use him the way that
not a
he's supposed to.
safety, though.
He's not a safety. He's a middle linebacker. He's built like a middle linebacker. He can't pass defend like a middle linebacker. He can't. I mean, he's a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And
Worth
he's a
3
strong
first
safety
rounds.
maybe
Yeah.
at his best days, but he's really a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are coming back next week, Fantasy 101.
I think we're back there every week now.
Yeah, we are back to every week. We're going to do Fantasy 101 next week, so we're going to talk to you about our best draft strategies. We're going to be back into just redraft only. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the different formats like Dynasty and Keeper Leagues and redraft. We might even touch base a little bit on daily.
DFS.
Yeah, so...
I still haven't figured that one out all the way.
Yeah, none of us have. So don't listen to our advice. Honestly, just don't follow our advice on anything, really. We're all shitty at everything.
Go out, have fun, talk a bunch of shit to your buddies when you play it, and gloat and
when
rub
I
their face
started
when you
playing fantasy football, I had hair. So beware.
I still have the same amount of hair when I started.
I know, but you're better at it than I am. So... Okay, so yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Anything else? Anything to add?
No, football's back. It's almost football time. Be happy that the drought and purgatory is almost over.
That's right. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Here is a black screen because I don't have the right things.
Perfect.
Our Twitter handles are FF Mechanic, Hobbit's Revenge.
Yep.
And Fantasy Unclean. Go follow us. I pointed at you guys even though I was off camera the entire time. Who gives a shit?
We saw
them
fingers.
pics.
We saw fingers. It's okay.
We saw fingers, right? Those are our Twitter handles there. Go find us. Go follow us. Do all that stuff. We'll see you guys next week.